Hi, my name's Ruth. I'm one of the naturalists here at the Helen Schuler Nature Centre in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. This morning, I thought we'd head out and see if we can find some evidence of woodpeckers, as I heard some drumming this morning and a few calls from the flicker woodpecker, one of our medium-sized woodpeckers. This tree here must be a favorite. As I go close, you can see how many woodpeckers have chosen this place for their home. Did you hear that? That's the drumming of a woodpecker. Perhaps it's excavating a new home for this year's brood. Let's listen. There it is again. We call that drumming. That's when a woodpecker is repeatedly, loudly hammering on a tree or some metal. It's actually hammering to get the loudest resonance it can, so the sound will travel. Some people think it is a way of showing where its territory is, and others think it is a way to call a mate. I'm heading deeper into the cottonwood forest here in the nature reserve. We have 4 different kinds of woodpeckers. There's a small one called the downy woodpecker, about this size, and a very similar one, the hairy woodpecker. Now both those woodpeckers are predominantly black and white. The easier one to identify, though, is the flicker, which is our most common woodpecker, and it's more of a browny color, just like the trees behind me, with a bit more marking on the front. But when it flies, it's amazing. Beneath its wings, it has a reddish color or a yellow color on the feather shafts. So that's pretty tremendous. Let's see if we can find another woodpecker hole. Listen, those flickers are calling back and forth to each other. Or at least from my perspective, that's what it seems they're doing. Ah! There's another woodpecker hole. This time it's higher up. Now this hole is interesting. It's actually built facing our cold north winds. Most woodpeckers put their holes on the east side or the south side of trees so that they are protected from the strong winds in this area. When a woodpecker is pecking all along a log like that, it's actually drilling. It's pecking out little chips of wood and leaving little holes behind from where it was searching for food. They'll often find fallen, decaying logs or diseased trees, because that's a place where they're more likely to find a good insect meal. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Well, wasn't that a wonderful visit? Thank you, little chickadee. Thank you for coming on over. These markings on this log, do you see all these squiggly lines? These, and on the log behind, these squiggly lines are made by bark beetles. So they're chewing the inner bark, the layer where the water and the nutrients goes up and down inside the plant. And it's right beneath the bark. You can see here some of the outer bark peeling away. And so woodpeckers might also be going for the bark beetles that left these tunnels. Look at this spot where woodpeckers have been feeding. The kitchen's not far away. Because here's their home. Now, as I walked over here, I happened to notice to the left of me as well. We'll just move on over here. Was another woodpecker hole, once again facing that north wind, but very low to the ground. Look how low. This is at about hip height. I wonder if a raccoon could get up here and put his hands inside and sneak out some eggs. It's another old tree trunk. You can see the top of it here, getting lichen forming on it. That was a great walk. We were lucky to see 3 of the 4 species of woodpeckers. We saw the little downy and the hairy, both black and white, and the wonderful light brown flicker with the brilliant red underwings and the spots down its front. But we did miss out on seeing the pileated woodpecker. Well, this year I once saw the silhouette of this large woodpecker fly away through these trees. We don't see it very often, but when you see it, you'll remember it. Why, years ago when I was a small girl, I remember our family was sitting in the front room at Christmas holiday time, and all of a sudden, landing on the spruce tree right outside the window, was the pileated woodpecker, standing up tall, black and white. It had the most amazing flaming crest standing tall on its head. A sight to see, ingrained in my memory. Look it up and see. Maybe one day, when you're walking down in the parks here in Lethbridge, you'll get to see a pileated woodpecker too.